Well, I got the Lifan KPX out and I'm going to take it for a ride. You know, in my last video on this bike, I put a little piece of foam in the snorkel tube for the air filter to see if it would kind of richen up the circuit on this a little bit, especially on cold starting, cold running, because it had a little bit of a stumble. And so far it helped, but today I want to take it out for a little bit longer ride. As you can see, our snow is melting. We don't have a whole lot left. Boy, I can't see, my shield's fogging up. But today it's supposed to be getting up to 51, which is really nice considering the weather and the temperatures that we've had. Still running good on the cold start. I gotta open my shield up for a minute. It's not my shield fogging up, it's my glasses. But right now I think it's 44, 45. Well, it's warm enough to go for a ride. I was just itching to get out. I really hope the camera angle's okay, because I can't see nothing out of my glasses yet. Very little. There we go, starting to clear up a little bit now. You know, I've been a little under the weather. Let's see, this is Tuesday, and I started to get a little sick on Friday, I think it was. Saturday was my worst day. Sunday was better. Had a little bit of a relapse on Monday, so I ended up getting some antibiotics. Don't know what's going on with me, but I've had pneumonia in the past, and I didn't want to take a chance on something progressing into that again, because that's miserable. So today is really the first day I'm starting to feel better. I shouldn't be out in this stuff, but I just couldn't help it. I was itching to get out and ride, and this is going to be the best day. After today, it's supposed to start dropping again. I think the high is like in the 20s in a couple of days. But I'm ready for spring. It hasn't even officially started winter yet, but I'm ready for spring. I got a few little projects that I'm starting. My wife needs new tires. If you watched one of my last videos, I think it was the video on the Thunder where I was winterizing it, you saw some brand new tires in there, and I'm going to be putting some new tires on her car. I was debating, I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money because those tire machines are expensive. I'm kind of tired of doing it by hand, so I thought, well, there's kind of a compromise in between. You know, the tire machine, you can get them cheap as $1,000, and the average one's about $1,000 to $1,200–1,300. And you know, I don't change enough tires to really make up for that. So I found a kind of a cheap tire machine. It's got an air operated thing that breaks the bead, and it actually does turn the tire so you could pull the bead off the wheel, but it doesn't make a full revolution, so you got to pull the bar out and turn it, pull the bar out, put it in another hole, and kind of a pain it looks like. But I haven't got that in yet, but that's one thing I need to do. I wanted to get those tires put on before we go to Christmas, because I don't really want to drive her car out in this kind of weather, you know what I mean, with tires that are pretty low on tread. It's kind of unusual because, you know, we bought that car brand new, and those tires are a 40,000 mile tire, which, you know, on a brand new car you'd think that they'd have premium tires on it, and they are Bridgestone tires, but 40,000 miles is about the maximum you could get out of it, because I think we've had that car, it was 2016, we've had it almost 10 years, and this is the second set of tires we're going to put on it, and we've got 70,000, 71,000 on it, so we're averaging 35,000 miles per tires. So I thought I'd go to a different brand. I bought some Hankook tires, Kinergy or something like that. They're 80,000, 70 or 80,000 mile tread wear on those, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more time out of them. But I have to install those. That's one thing I need to do. I'll probably do a little bit of a video on that, show that tire machine a little bit. I also bought a new MIG welder, just a cheapie, and I want to do a comparison because, you know, I've got the cheapie Harbor Freight MIG welder, and I'm not a big fan of that. It does work, and I've welded many things with it, but I'm not a fan of it. All it's got's a high-low switch on the setting. You don't really have a way to, you know, kind of zero it in. You're either welding cold or you're welding hot, and I prefer to weld hot, so, you know, sometimes I burn through stuff all the time with it. Well, I want to try this new welder and see how it does. I'll probably do a comparison between the two, because actually this cheap welder, it's called a Yes welder. I got it on a Black Friday special, and paid about the same price I did my Harbor Freight welder, so it should be a, you know, apples to apples comparison. Even though this Yes welder is like a multi-process welder. Not only can it MIG, it can also TIG, it can also arc weld. I won't use either one of those two features. I have a Lincoln arc welder if I ever wanted to arc weld, so I got a good one of those. But the MIG welder, you know, I've really become a fan of that, especially doing the kind of work around the house, you know, working on cars, working on motorcycles, and just fabricating stuff. I do need to weld up the frame on my riding mower because it's got a crack in it. Things like that, it really comes in handy to have a cheap little welder around. And this Yes welder come with a roll of wire. I'll talk about that maybe in the video, but I'm kind of curious to see how the wire does, because I had to change the wire on the Harbor Freight machine. I didn't like the stock wire on that. Well, so far the motorcycle hasn't even had a hiccup. Doing really good. Still has good pickup. I think the top speed on this bike, if I remember right, it's been a while, it was around 75 on the speedometer, something like that. Maybe 80 on the right day. So I know that it'll hit 70 just fine. I really like riding this bike too. This is the one bike that's different from all my other bikes because of it being dual sport. It's got just enough speed that it handles road riding really well. When you go off-road with it, the tires, they do okay. They're not really off-road tires, but like if you do trail riding and stuff, I've taken it out on a few trails, different trails. I shouldn't say a few, I haven't done it very much, but you take it down a trail and it does really good. Going over, you know, fallen limbs and stuff like that, it does really good. And compared to what a bike from the big four manufacturers, motorcycle manufacturers cost, this bike is unbelievably priced. I know I've seen it varies in price because of the season and the deals they offer and stuff like that, but I think at Venom, I've seen it, I think, as low as $27.99. It runs about $29.99 most of the time, about $3,000. A lot of people out for a Tuesday. I think today, when I get back from my ride, I'm going to change the oil in it, and I may look at the spark plug once more, because this ride that I'm on today, I'm probably going to ride a good hour, maybe less, maybe more, depends on how I feel. I'm probably going to stop and get me a little bite to eat for lunch, because I think it's about 12:30, something like that. See what my clock says, 12:36. Of all the time after work on something, I had to take the instrument cluster out of my truck. If any of you guys have the older Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, something like that, you know what I'm talking about. The gauges start going crazy and haywire, and the lights start flashing, and all kinds of crazy stuff starts happening. And they just need to take it apart and resolder joints and replace stepper motors and stuff. And I'll tell you what, I found this guy on eBay that you send it in to him, you take your cluster out, you put it in a box, and you send it to him, and he repairs it. He replaces, I think I have all five stepper motors, replaces the LEDs, and my Prindle display, he actually fixed that, because that hasn't been working since I've owned the truck. So he fixed everything with my cluster, boxed it up and shipped it back. Total cost $62. That was total cost. Now I had to pay for the shipping there, so if you add that in, as whatever that was, 18 I think, something like that. So total would be $80 out of my pocket for that to be fixed. But I drove it the last couple of days and I haven't had anything go wrong with the cluster whatsoever. So it fixed it. And if you have that issue, there's no reason not to fix it. My goodness, it's a 5-minute job to remove the cluster. That was a very, very easy repair. I had to go over there a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday, day before. No, it was Friday I went there. It's a optical place for eyeglasses. Got me a new pair of eyeglasses. Couldn't believe the price. I'm on Medicare and supplement insurance too, and still, after Then I'm deducting $250 for the insurance, and then another 20% with the insurance. It still cost me $611 out of pocket for a pair of glasses. Crazy. You know, I don't know why, but whenever I don't feel great, fast food just is appealing to me. So I don't normally eat a lot of fast food because I like to eat healthy if I can, but I'm going to give my body what my body wants today. I'm going to get it a Big Mac. So I'm going to park it here. I may pick back up with you whenever I get back home and change the oil and all that kind of stuff. Oop, turn signal still on. Shut it off here. Boy, it's a good looking bike. But anyway, I just want to report that so far so good on the foam and the air filter snorkel. And whenever I bring it home to do an oil change on it, I may pick up back with you like I said, and if I do, I'll let you know on the way home if I notice anything. But so far it's doing real good. All right, well, I made it back, so now I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil. I've been needing to do this anyway for the winter. See what it looks like. Whoa. I made a mess out of that. I was trying to be careful. Yeah, the oil looks pretty good still. I'll be replacing the crush washer. Now let me get all this oil off my hands. My goodness. There's that new Yes welder I was telling you about. And there's one other thing I bought new. It's a blaster for setting the bead on a tire. I've been needing one of those, so I went ahead and bought it. It was a Black Friday special. So was that. They were both Black Friday specials. I won't get my tire machine until probably about another 2 weeks. And while the oil's draining, we'll go ahead and look at the spark plug again. I still need to change the filter. I'm not going to do the rest of this oil change on camera. I've done this, I think this is my third oil change. I did an oil change video on the first two. Okay, there's what the spark plug looks like. Looks pretty good. It's got a nice gray ashy look to the electrode. The insulator is still white, but it's got a little bit of a gray look to it. I think it's looking pretty good. Well, like I mentioned, I'm not going to show this complete oil change on here. My amount of miles on this oil change is probably, I don't know, 700, something like that, miles. And with this being an air-cooled engine, I like to change the oil no more than 1,000 miles on the engine before I change the oil. That's my personal preference, because it will run a little bit hotter, especially in the summertime, being an air-cooled engine. I'm very pleased the way the spark plug looks. I'm super pleased about the way that it runs. It seems to me, from my observations, that it runs better, smoother, idles at a higher RPM, and there's no stumble when it's cold. It's amazing how that one little piece of foam, I kept it out, this is all it was, that I put in the snorkel. That right there seems to have taken care of it. I took it down the interstate on the way home from this ride, and the speed limit is 65, and I was doing, on my speedometer, I got all the way up to 78 miles per hour, which I don't know what that would be GPS, probably 74 maybe. something like that, 75. So this speedometer is not off that much. So, but I was cruising 72 to 75 most of the way. I had no issues. There was no stumble. Didn't seem like it was lacking power. It seemed like everything is good. I'm really surprised. I was expecting maybe a little bit of an improvement, but I think it has taken care of everything. I think the thing is just, I think, the little bit of a stumble it had, once in a while the idle would be really low, especially if I'm like going through the city and then slowing down really quick. Seemed like the idle go all the way down to 1,000 RPM or whatever. But now it seems like it's holding a steady higher idle and will stumble, like I said, and it runs great. So I don't know what the gas mileage is going to be if it is running richer. I don't know if it's going to burn that much more fuel. But I went ahead and I topped it off with oil. I mean, I'm tired and I'm not feeling good. Sorry about that. I topped it off with premium gas, 93 octane. And I'm going to put a little bit of Stay-Bil in it. I'm dropping the oil now, so I'm going to go ahead and put fresh oil in it. And this will be good for the winter. I've got a battery charger over there, a maintainer that I'm going to hook up to it, and it'll be good. So I don't know if we're going to have too many more of these good days like we had today. It's pretty nice outside for this time of year, really. Well, for what it has been anyway. It's been in the 20s and 30s, I think, with a lot of snow and stuff lately. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Appreciate you coming along. The main reason I did this video was for an update on the snorkel foam. Personally, I think it's fantastic. So that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.